Happy Tuesday. It's 5:37. The watch is dead. It's been a hell of a day. I was watching Flight Test and decided, hey, maybe I should talk about what's been going on with tataz and some of the changes and just some of the things that go through building testing. But first and foremost, and I think I'm still do a video on it. If you guys want to continue to watch Flight Test, then you need to make comments and do all the appropriate things that everyone has talked about in all their videos if you want to save this hobby. Because if they do what they're talking about doing with the ridiculous remote ID and all that other, they're going to go out of business, and a lot of other good companies are going to go out of business. So we need to step up and do whatever we can, make any comments that we can, and save this hobby. Share with the FAA, make a video on YouTube letting them know what the FPV community, flying FPV, building aircrafts, flying airplanes, whatever it is you're into, tell them. Let them know what it means to you. Be personal. I'm working on mine because I want to word it right and show enough emotion, because, I mean, I literally going to fall apart if they take this away from me. This is therapy and a lifesaver for me, and I could not live without this. And transition. I love the chair. All right, so as I left in the comments, I went to go fly yesterday. I went over to Town Farm Hill and fly, and got out a little bit, started, feeling out the quad so I could see which way to tune it. And I went too fast around a corner, and I caught a tree branch. It ripped the battery out, and the quad I thought was in the woods. I searched for 20 minutes. I couldn't bring myself to share the video, as funny as it was. So when I crashed, reviewing the footage, it had actually, see if I can show you it with a diagram. So there was a set of trees, and I was flying around and going to fly out. So I went in a little hot and came wide, and then when I came up, I caught a branch, and the video feed instantly went out, so I could not guess where it went in the straggle right here. Thinking it went down into prickers and nastiness, and holy freaking don't want to climb in there. But what it ended up doing was wrapping around, and I caught a branch high, which ripped the battery out, and the thing tanked all the way into the middle of the field. So what the camera saw, and it landed upside down, which was even funnier. You saw me walk by, go into the woods, throw my hands up, freaking going absolutely crazy, and then pop out of the woods, and you see me go, F, there it is, and then ended up finding it. But I don't know if that, what part of the reason why it crashed, on top of, I didn't have it 100% set where I wanted some of the settings, was I lost the FPV feed, and I found out that, did I save it or throw it away? I got the wrapper. So it's like a UFL or IPX connector, that little tiny thing, and then it's got the whatever the hell it is, RPSMA. I'm not even going to confuse the world with that. Oh, it says right there. Oh, look at that. Mini IPX to RPS. I was right. So what ended up happening was this was crimped a little too much, and I think it was broken a little bit here, because when I went to go take it apart, it fell out of the glue that I had added to it too, because I always put a tiny drop of glue over the connector. But I think that it was shot here, and it ended up coming home and breaking. So I thankfully had a couple of of these, and I had some shorter ones, because originally I had it coming out the back, then I made a hole, and it looked kind of goofy having it coming out the back. I dealt with it, I replaced it, it worked, and I'm like, you know what? I fall in love with the Fox Ear Lollipops. I can't find the color I want, so I actually opted out of it. iFlight makes a very similar one that I found. I got a 2-pack. So what I ended up doing, and it's funny because it's small, it looks out of place, but it probably will last a lot longer considering it's not a bigger antenna. The connector can't come undone. It's just connector with a little bit of hot glue, runs up. I have a zip tie just to keep it loosely in place, and then I just put some heat shrink over where it met the carbon fiber, and then heat it up and bent the thing to where I wanted it. Did I put it away? I had a Pagoda on there, which I love their antenna, but I had purchased this style for a different, I had purchased this for one of my first builds, and it works. And I could probably use this on another quad too. So it was coming out like that, and for whatever reason, it was vibrating or whatnot. It just wiggled loose a couple times. So I started getting fuzzy reception, and then it'd come back. But it worked. Like I said, I did the yard flight. Let me backtrack a little bit. I'm just bunny trailing. My freaking day's just been hell. But I mean, like I said, it didn't look horrible. It would have been cooler if it was in back. But I'm going to try that and then see how it goes, and then we'll see. But so I flew there. I got a little bit of footage, reviewed it. It wasn't horrible. And it was also before I put this piece of foam in here. So I was getting a lot of transfer and vibration from the frame and whatnot. So you had a bit more jello than I like in my footage. The quad was flying smooth because my FPV footage was, I mean, as stable and nice as possible. And probably this is the most angle I've ever flown with any quad. And I probably should go up with this one because of the speed. But so I had come home, I fixed it. I went to the school by me to blow a pack and a half. And the footage was good, but I still had more. Like I said, I didn't do that. So I had jello in it, and it just still wasn't tuned right. So I wasn't happy with it. So I ditched the footage. That was my choice. I just frustrated with it. I spent some time and made the little foam thing. I even notched it today, actually. Put a little notch in it. It's got that Sherlock tape on both ends, and then it's strapped. Oh, and then the crash, it actually held. It destroyed the strap. It must have caught the battery, and it ripped the strap off it. Battery was 10 feet from it. Whole joke. Thank God. They should make batteries with like neon colors so you can find them. But yeah, I was able to find it. But I didn't like the footage. It's just one of those days, and I was like, maybe I'll make a post of how shitty my day was, but then I was just so angry with the situation that I literally scrapped the footage because I was frustrated. But next time, maybe I should step up and do it, because we all have those days. That was the whole purpose. As I'm walking back up with the quad after the first crash, I was talking about, this is one of those things that happens, and it happens to all of us, and you got to see this. So as you guys are starting off, there's a lot of you new flyers out there. You're going to crash. You're going to destroy brand new stuff. You're going to replace an antenna, go outside and test fly it, and you're going to rip it off your quad. I've done it. It is part of the hobby. It's frustrating, but at the same time, you can come in and you can build. It's the whole therapy of building and stuff. But so cousin hit me up. He helped me hook up a washer and dryer that we had in the basement. My furnace has been on the fritz again. Thankfully, it seems okay now. God knows what. Bad, dirty something in the oil filter. I don't know. But he came over, and I had charged up a battery. He's like, hey, want to have a cigar? I'm like, yeah. So I ripped a pack real quick with the foam on. You can still see a little bit of jello, but I think that may be just a matter of how tight I squeeze this, allowing this to do its job. But again, a little jello I'm okay with. I'm not a professional videographer or whatever, so you're going to get a little bit of jello in the kick-ass footage. So I ripped the pack, and the tune was a lot better, much more responsive. There's a lot of weight to this quad, so I had to adjust the way that this flew over all the other quads that I got, just because it's like its own personality. You don't talk to every single person you run into the same way. You can't have shop talk with the guys and have the same thing with most women. They'd get offended. You follow? But I did a little more tweaking and tuning, adjusting some filters, and it flew a lot better. I adjusted it even after the fact and haven't flown it yet. I'm just still getting it to where I want it. Like I said, this thing is an absolute rocket ship and a beast, and going into a turn, it's got so much more momentum. And it's crazy because you go into, let me see, I'll use a battery instead of the quad, so I'm not going to go into a turn, snap, and go. The amount of power that this thing has, you get in it, and as soon as you feather the throttle a little bit, gone. Not used to that. The quads, I'm a much more laid back flyer, and this thing, it's crazy. And in that crash, I trashed 3 out of the 4 props. They were just bent and chipped up enough where I didn't want to add any more vibration. So these are some racecraft props, and they kind of work. I kind of dig the clear look with these. Yeah, it's a beast. I am very impressed with how it flies. Training today. I don't know what the rest of the week is looking like. I honestly haven't even looked at the damn forecast. I'm going to try out this little guy, and it should work because the Catalyst has the Fox Ear Lollipop, which is just slightly different shaped. This thing works phenomenal. I have no issues with video feed, and I'm pretty sure there's a VTX02 in there also. The little E-Sheen thing. I love them things. Yeah, I can see it on top there. Same thing. It just got a little bit longer of a wire, so I got to poke it out the back. I attempted that. I attempted that with this, and there just wasn't enough to do it. If I really, really wanted to get picky, I could probably unglue and put it on top of the receiver and then have it come out the back, but this is fine. This is fine. Any smacks this should take, number one, ain't going to run into anything without hitting the GoPro, and if it flips over on its back in a crash, it's just going to bend over and hit this. And for the price, it was, a couple bucks per each for the pair, whatever it was. I'll just stock up on them. Who gives a shit? But that's where we're at. Devil FPV. I put my email in one of the comments. I don't know if you got it. To talk about the Turnigy remote. So if you want it, it's yours. We'll make some arrangements, exchange email, and then contact info and all that fun stuff so I can get it out to you and see what else I can stuff in there for a goodie bag. On that note, it's got to be close to dinner time, so you guys enjoy your Tuesday evening, and hopefully we'll get some more footage. And I have a couple other ideas I want to do. I'm going to call it perspective, so I will, where's my GoPro? It's already in there. So I'll leave a little hint. I'm going to use this guy, and for a very good reason. The way that this is sideways, I can throw the GoPro in different directions. And I thought about it with this too. There's a lot of guys that are using the 360 cameras and getting unique views of the quad. I kind of want to do something like that. Hence perspective. Do a video, obviously flying forward, and get footage of that, but within the edit, show the sides, or even I could flip that up and get the sky, get the ground. I mean, there's all kinds of things. So I have a fun little edit I want to do. I just got to find the right song for it. On that note, again, happy Tuesday. Welcome all. Goodbye all. And welcome new subscribers. Take care.